So today we will study broken access control. So what happen when web application, when we do the login, like I am logging with my username and password. So after that web applications start a session. For that, see how can they differentiate, this is this user and this is this user. For that they are using a session management. Okay, so after login they send us a session and we can start, we can access our details, we can access our, if and web application have the picture or some kind of database, then we can access all of them by after login. So that is authentication. But what happen, sometimes web applications are not control them all the access. See, on an web application there may be an admin users and normal users. So normal users can access only their account or some normal information, but admin users can, what can they do, they can access the normal users account, and also they can delete the normal user, they can create a normal user account, and they can access their information also. So if what happens sometimes, see, when we are login as a normal user, so application gives us a session. So that time they are not controlling that these things. Because of that we can access the admin functionality, and we can also access the other normal user. So okay, so what is our agenda today? Today agenda is what is access controls and how to find access control bugs and exploitation, and what is impact of these bugs. So basically, see, we already discussed this. Access control is the application of constraint on who or what is authorized to perform an action or access resources. Means, see, I am normal user. So what I can do, I can create my account, I can delete my account, and I can do all the things related to my account. I can access my things, I can access, see, on this, I can access my balance, I can transfer the balance. But what can admin do? Admin can delete my account, admin can delete any other user account. Okay, admin can transfer my account also. Okay, so this is all related to authentication, session management, and access control. So authentication and session management we already discussed. So in access control determines whether the user is allowed to carry out the action that they are attempting to perform. Let's say I am attempting to perform, I want to access your account. So that is, see, I am not allowing that. So that is application doing a access controls. I cannot access the other users account, I cannot access the admin user accounts. Okay, but what happens sometimes, because of the design and implementation flow of an application, the access controls are broken. So because of that we can access the other users details, or maybe admin users detail. We can delete the other users account or also. So we can do many things. Okay, so we will do all these things in next labs. So most of the times, see, there are two type of privilege escalations. So what is privilege escalations? See, all the time when we are login, so after login, application gives us a privileges. See, I am normal user, so I can only normal privileges. So admin user have the everything, they can do everything, they can delete my account. We already talk about that, what can an admin do. So these are the privileges. So see, there are two type of privilege escalations. So what happen, I am a normal user. Let's say there is two user, ls and bob. No, though both are normal user. So let's say I am the ls, and if I can access the bob users account, both are normal users. So if I can access the bob users account and I can delete the bob users, not delete, access the bob users account details. So that is horizontal privilege escalations, because both are normal users. But let's say there is an admin account. So if I can access the admin user account, so that is vertical privilege escalation, because see, I am accessing the higher privileges below this. So see, these are the horizontal users. So you can say like in an organization, both the users have the same functionality, both privileges. So this is horizontal privilege escalation, and this is if I can access the admin functionalities, then that is vertical privilege escalation. Okay. So this is all about horizontal and vertical privilege escalations. And let's do some labs, then you will understand more about these bugs. Okay, so see, these are easy bugs, but you can try all of these kind of bugs, and maybe see if you try out, then if application is vulnerable, then most of the time you will find out these kind of bugs. And the I think broken access control is in OWASP top 10 on at top 1, I think top 1 or 2. Okay, so most of the time this is at top 1 and 2. Broken access control bugs. Okay, so first is unprotected admin functionality. So let's start the lab. See, we already discussed that when we have a normal web application, always try to find out the interesting endpoint by using the brute force. So how we can brute force? You can use the Durbuster, wfudge or fuff tools. Okay, so let's, if we are brute force this, like this URL, and if you found some interesting endpoints, then always try to access them. If you found interesting endpoint, see, we are brute forcing it. Like when we found the interesting URL, if you found the interesting URL, always try to access them. So maybe you can get the access, you can access the sensitive data, or maybe you can access some admin functionality, or like let's say, so see, most of the time when you find a like on a private invite on a bug bounty or some kind of web pen testing, always try this brute forcing, always do this brute forcing. So you will get some kind of like information related to like what is interesting URLs are there. Okay, so see, we are brute forcing, so it will take time. But let's say on the most of the web application, you will find this robots.txt file, and there you will find out the some kind of, okay, this is disallowed and this is allowed. So always try all of them. Like even they are saying, okay, this is disallowed, so you need to try them. Like maybe you will get something. So maybe you will get something interesting. So always, like if you will find out, see, in when we do the hunting, then always try this robots.txt, then you will get some kind of, okay, this URL is allowed, this is not allowed, this is allowed, this is not allowed. So you will get some kind of URL information here. So you can try all of them one by one, and if you are trying, then maybe you will get the access to some kind of sensitive information. And if you get the sensitive information through this, then there is a sensitive data exposure or some other kind of bug. So in this web application, see, we find out a administrator panel URL. Like we find out, okay, there is a administrator panel. If we are putting it directly here, that we are accessing this here. So see, this is very simple bug. So most of the time you won't find this kind of bug, but what you can find most of the time, see, when you are doing this brute forcing, that time maybe you will find out other URLs. Let's say you will find out a admin panel.php, and when you are accessing that, maybe you are getting an PHP file. That is also a sensitive data disclosure, like it's a kind of P3 P4 bug. So always try to brute force, and if you find something interesting, then always try to access it. And see, don't believe in this always. So like if you are saying something like 200, okay, and so always try to access from there, like put that value here and see like what is there. Okay, so see, we are accessing the admin panel. Like we find out a admin panel URL through this brute forcing, and after that, let's say we are accessing there. Let's currently see we are accessing directly, but let's say you find out a login page. So always try, we already discussed default credentials. So maybe you can access the admin panel by using the default credentials. So that is P1 bug. So always try to do these things. Okay. So next is next is unprotected admin functionality with unpredictable URL. See, last time we find out a admin functionality directly through robots.txt and we find out a URL and we access that. But in this lab, we are not getting any robots.txt. So you can try the same, that for brute forcing. See, this is still running. I'm closing it because see, we close the lab. So see, try this for brute forcing, and sometimes see what happen. Always try to understand the JS file also, like what they are doing and what is the interesting in these files. Okay, let's say when we are doing the view page source, see, always try to watch this view page source. So maybe sometimes you will get some kind of interesting information. Maybe you will find a P1 bug through this. See, even I find a P1 bug through this view page source. So, okay, see, there is an some kind of a URL, and they are written like admin panel. So maybe this is a admin panel URL. See, so I am not talking about the JS file. So I am just thinking like, okay, they are talking about the admin panel. They are talking about the admin panel. So maybe this is admin panel URL. So I'm just copying it and trying to access it. See, we are accessing it. So always try to see the view page source also. So you will get some kind of bugs through this also. So see, after the in JS file, sometime you will get the critical informations. Even you will get the P1 bug, and I also get the P1 bug through this. See, there is an application where we can create our own subdomain. See, like, okay, let's discuss about this bug. See, there is a sensitive data user in subdomain. Okay, there is a typo. Subdomain of a via Fascon, phone number, address, lawyer details, bank details. See, so we can create a subdomain. But what happen after creating a subdomain? All the details related to that account are visible in the view page source. So see, if I create a subdomain on a company page and if my details are visible in the view page source, so that is a sensitive data exposure. Okay, so this is a P1 bug. So also other bug is also same. See, I found a website, only simple website through this subdomain enumeration. So after that, if I am going there on website, then I get the sensitive data there. So this is basically a P4 bug. So because this is not very sensitive, because this is not related to users data. So what happened? This is P4 bug, and that time this T-Mobile company is not accepting. See, this is a valid bug. See, this is P4, but they are not accepting the P4 bug. See, they are accepting only P1 and P2. So because this is P4 bug, so because of that, this is not applicable. Okay, so you will